Meet Myron Gaines, one of the most preposterous podcasters on the planet, a Sudanese perceived white supremacist who has recently come to the shocking revelation that it is actually gay to share a house with your girlfriend.
I saw a lot of people like, oh, that's weird, that's gay, living with your friends or whatever. Yo, I've been telling you guys this shit for years. Do not live with your woman. Like, this shouldn't be like some weirdo shit. Do not live with your girl, bro. Well, Myron, I want to get sex. Like, I want to be able to, like, you know, hang out with her and watch movies. No, I'm going to tell you why. Living with your girl is going to make you a fucking shit.
Myron goes further and says that instead of living with your girlfriend, you should actually live with a group of guys who all share a similar mentality to you. Because, of course, women are lazy, and being around working men will get you in a better headspace.
Either live alone or live with other guys that are high fucking earners, go-getters, and iron sharpens iron, bro. If you don't understand these rules, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna constantly get used and abused by women. Girls are gonna constantly talk back to you. They're not gonna take you seriously, and you're just gonna live a miserable life. And this is what your father, your uncle, your brother, none of these are gonna tell you what I'm telling you. This is decades of fucking experience. Living with your girl is not a good idea in most situations. Like, yo, if you gotta run shit by your girl, what are you doing? What the Well, Myron, I live with a girl. That actually makes me less gay. No, it makes you very gay because your girl's gonna turn you into a fucking bitch. Because women are lazy. Women are fucking lazy. They're not like us. They don't have a natural proclivity to fucking work.
Now, I wanted to introduce Myron because his mentality and morals and beliefs will play an important role in shaping the rest of the story. But first, let's meet the rest of our cast members. Our protagonist, depending on how you want to look at the situation, is Akaash Singh. Now, Akaash was actually a virgin up until his 30s when he got married.
I'm sure I could get there, but I don't give off the vibe, I think, of the girls are like, I gotta fuck that guy.
So in high school it was because you said you didn't look good, and then after that it was
I was hideous.
Well, you're not a hideous guy.
Hey, you haven't seen me in high school.
Well,
short,
what
fat,
happened?
Crooked teeth. I was just like a chipmunk, dude.
Now, deep in his 30s, Akaash is actually no longer a virgin. Instead, he's very happily married. Take a look at how happy him and his wife seem.
When I say I'm tired, she can't just let me be tired. I travel, I work, and I'm very blessed to do what I do.
He also has really bad insomnia.
I have really bad insomnia. I work 335 days a year. I'm so blessed to do what I do. This is not a complaint. But when I tell my wife I'm tired, I want her to say, I'm sorry, baby. I understand. That must be exhausting, buying me all these things. Instead, she goes, so am I. And if I dare open my mouth to go, what the f did you do that made you tired? Now it's a problem. Now it's a fight. So I gotta sit there.
I went to Pilates.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
I
So yeah, when I say Akaash is happily married, I mean it. I mean, he's really happily married.
Do you know what my husband just tried to do to me?
Yeah.
We're leaving. Shut up. We're leaving in Paris in 5 hours, so tensions are a little high.
Yeah.
We also just redid our closet.
This is all her closet now. She took the whole closet.
Which we already agreed upon.
And now she's saying she doesn't have no space.
And now I'm saying I don't have space for all my shit. I don't have space for. Can you show?
Yeah.
I don't have space for all my Indian suits because I like my dresses spaced out. Do you know what Akaash just did?
Here you go. Watch this. Oh my God.
I'm not doing
Look how
that.
much space exists.
I'm not doing that.
So what do you want to do? You want to buy a separate house with all hanger space?
No.
Now, similar to Akaash, according to Akaash himself, his wife was also a virgin when they first met.
My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Now, let me ask you this.
wow.
Do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, what?
Now you might be asking, who is Akaash's wife and what importance does she have to the story? Well, meet Jasleen Singh. Jasleen gets very defensive when fans online question if she truly was a virgin before she met Akaash. The same way Akaash claims he was a virgin before he met her.
This comment is so gross to me. Excuse my face, I just got a Fraxel, so it looks a little crazy, but it's like, who the f are you to talk about when I lost my virginity? I will talk about it because it's my sexuality and it's my story, so sit the down and shut the up. And also, do you think Akaash never touched a woman before he met me? Like, we both up with people, we both were in relationships, and then together we both lost our virginity. So sit the down. You're like, just unfollow me, you're so annoying.
Now you might be wondering, why are fans even questioning if Jasleen truly was a virgin before she met her husband? I mean, first of all, why is this the internet's business? And second, what reason would Jasleen have given the internet to believe otherwise? Well, for starters, Jasleen met Akaash after her days in college, and this is how she describes those college days.
Sometimes I get so painfully nostalgic for college. The top 4 songs when I came back for my sophomore year, Click, Pop That, Bands Make Her Dance, Birthday Cake, The 2 Chainz. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses, and I had a roster of guys that I would rotate through. So it's like, ugh.
Jasleen also has a podcast of her own where she describes some previous experiences, I guess you can say, with her former love interest before she lost her virginity to Akaash.
I met this guy on Tinder. This was before Bumble or Hinge. This was in the OG days of the app. And this guy, I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, not really wanting to hook up. And I woke up in the morning and my asshole was a little sore. Oh my God.
So yeah, whatever you could imagine about Akaash and Jasleen's marriage, it gets worse. But let's hold off on them and take it back to Myron. Because you might not agree with his opinion that living with your girlfriend is gay and that you should live with a group of men instead. And if you're a rational human, you probably don't agree with a lot of Myron's takes and opinions. But I gotta tell you guys, even a broken clock is right twice a day. And Myron Gaines unveiled a can of worms that may have destroyed Akaash's wife and life. Scratch that. It wasn't a can of worms. It was a nuclear red-pilled python plummeting the self-esteem of a mediocre podcaster who went from living the dream to his forever thing, leaving him in the center of the internet's laughter. The misogynistic, anti-Semitic woman basher Myron sent Akaash spiraling. So let's dive in, like and subscribe quick, and let me document this sad story brick by brick.
If it ain't about the bread, it ain't concerning me. I'm like a journalist, I got a plotters down in Germany. They never heard of this, felt like a plane without the turbulence. You moving totalist, load up a beat and try to murder it.
I study rap
Rapaholics
for a living.
Our story starts back in the early 2000s, where a young Akaash Singh dropped out of pre-med school to pursue comedy full-time after his first open mic in Texas. He honed his skills with school talent shows and early gigs, and then relocated to New York City in around 2008 to hit the NYC club circuit. His TV breakthrough came with appearances on MTV's Guy Code in 2015, and multiple episodes of Wildin' Out in that same time period. Similar to Akaash Singh, there was another up-and-coming comedian who also starred in MTV's Guy Code show. Andrew Schulz also moved to New York City in the early 2000s to become a regular at the Comedy Village and started gaining traction in stand-up a little quicker than Akaash, releasing his own specials onto YouTube in 2017 and even starting a podcast with Charlamagne the God in 2013 called The Brilliant Idiots. Akaash and Andrew met in 2008 while they were both up-and-coming comedians, and they became close friends during financially tough early years while they were trying to break out in the comedy scene. At one point, they even lived together while grinding. I guess Myron would have been proud that there was a house full of men, no women in the house. Remember, to Myron, that's the least gay thing you can do.
We met in 2008. I just moved to New York, and then I got asked to do this show. It was like a hood show. It was out in Brooklyn. The show didn't end up happening. It got canceled, and then he drove me home in his mom's minivan. But then we started talking on the way home. He had all the same taste in comedy, and I didn't see him perform for months. And then I saw him months later at, again, another hood show in Harlem, and he just destroyed the room. I was bombing all the time at that point, but I knew I wanted to go in that direction. And then watching him just have this unbelievable determination and loyalty. He's so loyal. I don't know a lot of people who get that successful and then they try to become better people while they're doing it, and I feel like he's done that.
Now, with nearly a decade of friendship and comedic experience under their belt, Andrew Schulz and Akaash Singh would team up to start the Flagrant podcast together in 2017. I'll give you my unsolicited opinion. I've never found Andrew Schulz funny. I find his comedic style is similar to Drake's music style. They just latch on to whatever the current trend is. His jokes are very surface level. They rely a lot on shock value. There's no nuance, no real substance behind the jokes. But nevertheless, the Flagrant podcast ended up becoming a massive hit for both of them. Even though I don't find Andrew or Akaash particularly funny, the funniest thing to come out of this Flagrant podcast is the situation we're gonna unpack today. It's also probably the saddest.
Spicy.
Now, this all actually started 4 years ago on the Flagrant show, when Myron Gaines was a guest on the podcast. Andrew and Akaash were very much against the toxic nature of dating that Myron teaches to his impressionable young male audience. And if you pay attention, you'll notice Akaash doesn't just seem to be debating his viewpoint and approach on dating versus Myron's, but he actually seems quite combative in his responses, constantly cutting Myron off, defending his takes in a very aggressive tone, and almost belittling Myron's values. Rightfully so.
A lot of stuff you guys say in general, I think is stuff that's kind of childish. I saw a clip where you were like, oh, the nuclear family's falling apart. What do? I don't get married. Just don't get married. You actually trying to help men, or you talking to incels who are 18 years old? You know what I mean? That's some shit you say to college. I'm gonna turn you from a simp to a pimp. Can we grow up? You guys are self-help. Hey, we're trying to help men. So either we're funny or help men, and be real and be honest with yourselves, and don't have an ego like, oh, I have a preference. Be honest. Have an honest conversation. And I don't think the manosphere or maniverse or whatever, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there are people who are doing it really well. But let's just be mature about what we feel. And part of that maturity is, yeah, it was a bad joke. I don't actually feel exactly that way.
I mean, if you guys feel that way, that's fine. But we make our content, you know what I'm saying? People enjoy it. We make jokes on it. We provide entertainment. We provide education. We do everything, because if you just only provide, self-help stuff without any type of entertainment value, people aren't going to. I agree with that.
I think jokes are.
So
I think
we
it's a
have
joke.
we have a good time with it.
I don't have a problem with the joke. I'm telling you guys.
I think it's clear. I think it's very important that men learn certain skills.
As far as like the marriage and the incel thing, what we do is we provide guys information so they kind of go into dealing with women, especially in the West, in a way where they can protect themselves. Because marriage, even though it's a fantastic institution and we definitely believe in a nuclear family, the setup for it right now is not optimal, because the divorce courts heavily, favor women. There's a lot of situations where guys can absolutely get destroyed from divorce and marriage. So we just tell guys, hey, go with your eyes wide open.
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with, I don't disagree with what Andrew said. The way I look at it is, you watch them you see them evolutionary charts from Neanderthal to Homo sapien. Yeah. Y'all are the first motherfucker out of Neanderthal. Grow with your audience. Mature with your audience as you work on yourselves. And add some nuance to what you're saying.
How old are you guys?
I'm 31.
You guys are adults. Like it's.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you don't like the content, totally fine. A lot of people enjoy it.
I have respect for your hustle. If I'm crossing a line, that's my bad. And I also don't want to.
No, totally.
I also don't want to talk shit in an environment where I know I don't have to fight.
I think it's important to be able to come together. Yeah. Have differing opinions. Have a discussion about it. No big deal. And you might feel our content's immature. That's fine. A lot of guys enjoy it. We help a lot of guys out.
Now, 4 years later, after this podcast aired, the highest liked comments under the episode tell a much different story from the narrative that Andrew and Akaash were trying to paint when they sat down with Myron. 7 months ago, a bunch of people flooded the comments saying this episode did not age well for Akaash. It aged like milk. Damn, no need to feel embarrassed, Akaash. We're all embarrassed for you. Akaash Singh, a comedian whose greatest joke is his wife. Myron even chimed in with the highest liked comment on the YouTube episode saying, I hate being right all the time. But before these comments, it actually seemed like Andrew Schulz and Akaash would get the last laugh against Myron, because in 2023, one of Myron's many hijinks got him banned off of YouTube. And while Andrew Schulz and Akaash had one of Myron's good friends, DJ Big Macus and Akademiks, on their podcast, they were basically ripping in to Myron and everything that he stood for. In a nutshell, they were basically saying Myron's stupid approach to dating and his disgusting toxicity led him into something far worse than simply irrelevancy. He was blackballed.
What's up with Fresh and Fit? Are they still doing it?
They cooling.
But are they still doing the pod?
Yeah, of course. You mean they're still doing it? You not watching?
I didn't know that they're still doing the pod.
Where can you think they died?
No, I don't know. Maybe
they got demonetized. It was a minor setback for a major comeback. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, don't laugh like that. Nah, hold on, man. I don't like how y'all. I feel like y'all been.
You brought him up. I ain't bring him up. You brought him up.
Y'all preying on downfall. You asked me if we watched their podcast. I'm a 40-year-old man who's happy. Why would I watch that podcast?
We're all married, bro. We're all married. I only watch it when I'm fighting with my wife. I'll be like, these guys get me.
Now you could see here Akaash was making some very snarky remarks, right? Saying that he's a 40-year-old man, happily married. Why would he be watching some garbage like Myron's dating opinions on the Fresh and Fit podcast? Myron would clap back on Twitter saying Andrew Schulz and Akaash Singh are some of the biggest snakes on YouTube. F them and their whole team at Flagrant. Akaash and Andrew would clap back, with Andrew saying, Myron, you're a sensitive, talentless, bottom-feeding grifter. Your life's work is renting women and regurgitating other people's talking points. Your arms are not developed enough for the shirts you wear, and your co-host is pimping you. Merry Christmas. Don't get me wrong, I really don't like Myron, but this is what I mean by like Andrew Schulz just having low-level comedic value. Like, Myron Gaines is such an easy target. You should have such better clapbacks at him than, oh, you got small arms because you're not in the gym enough, but you still wear tight shirts. Hilarious. You have so much more ammo than that. And I mean, Akaash came in on an even more aggressive note, saying, I said everything I had to say to your face. I guess you couldn't do the same. Was it hard to talk because I was skull effing you and your co-host the entire episode? Now, most people could say Akaash was fighting the good fight, right? Myron gets on their podcast talking about how, you gotta be a high-value man, make women think that they're beneath you in a relationship, or else because women are evil and inherently just bad people, they're gonna walk all over you, treat you like crap, and leave you. Meanwhile, Akaash, really aggressively rebuttals that, and he kind of points to himself as evidence that, Myron's theories are bogus. Because he's, not the tallest, not the most handsome individual, but he emphasizes that, he has this really happy, healthy marriage with his beautiful wife.
Cap.
So you can only imagine when Myron got access to what was behind the curtains of Akaash's actual romantic life, he would have an absolute field day and the biggest I told you so moment, possibly in podcast history. Now, what would trigger this entire situation wasn't actually Myron uncovering old TikToks and footage from Akaash's wife, but it was actually Akaash's wife herself going online and crapping on Myron Gaines and his entire community.
So my husband actually interviewed these Red Pill guys on their podcast one time, and I won't mention their names because who the fuck even cares. But it was so funny because he actually called them out on their shit and their like stupid fucking beliefs and how they say that they're helping men when actually what they say is like really detrimental and damaging, especially to young impressionable men. Because he went at them, the Red Pill guys, like fans, were attacking him afterwards, found pictures of us, and because I'm like objectively attractive, they were saying that we couldn't possibly have got together in a natural kind of way or like in the wild, like it must have been an arranged marriage.
So, by this point, I guess she's not wrong, right? Myron's definitely fostered an audience that, tends to disrespect women. They think a lot of what comes with dating is superficial. So Jasleen is basically saying, it's classic, these incels, these red pills, that they're assuming because I'm an attractive woman, I would never be with someone like Akaash because he's not on my level looks wise and that I can't see beyond looks and just love him for who he is as a person, right? So she's not happy. She's coming at Myron pretty hard. And before we kick things off further, just remember what Akaash and Andrew Schulz were saying years ago, basically their motto for the entire podcast and how everyone should view comedy.
We ain't protecting nobody. Y'all can protect your self.
Everybody gets these jokes over here.
We pick on whoever could get it.
Yeah.
What's your shirt? Anyone can get roasted. Anyone get these jokes.
Everyone gets
these jokes.
That is the premise. That is the mission statement.
That is the ethos of this podcast, of our stand-up. Yeah. I don't care who you are. Yeah. You say something we don't like, we're gonna let you know.
So with that in mind, and with the fact that Akaash was clowning Myron, rightfully so, for Myron's ridiculous views on women and dating in general, you would think if he's at the receiving end of a joke, even if it was at the expense of his wife, he should be able to gladly take it, right? Well, taking a joke versus taking a joke about your wife taking long schlongs from college frat boys when you thought all this time you married a virgin, that might hit a little different. Huh? The problem is, all this stuff came directly from Akaash's wife. It's not like this was some big expose of, secrets that Jasleen was trying to hide. No, it hits even worse because all the ammo used against Akaash and his marriage stemmed from things directly from his wife. We're gonna peel it all the way back. Starting with the basic playful stuff, right? Don't forget, Jasleen is trying to be a comedian, right? So a lot of this stuff, maybe it's hyperbole, maybe it's exaggerated, but take a look at how she feels when it comes to celebrating Akaash's birthday.
Okay, May the 4th is Akaash's birthday. And
May the 4th be with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and every year I dread it because I have to be nice the whole day, and I have to get him something, and I have to also be nice and do like acts of kindness.
She's really not okay with it. She said that twice?
She's really not okay with it.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's really hard.
For her, it's really hard.
me.
She needs to just,
Listen, I'm just used to being treated like a princess all day, every day. So that one day that I don't.
Oh, what torture.
Yeah.
Now, alright, she doesn't really like giving him love and affection or being nice to him at the very least on his birthday, but maybe that's just the dynamic of their marriage. They're not so affectionate, right? They're old school. Maybe they got the kind of love that like my grandparents used to have, right? Where like they had been together for decades, but my grandmother couldn't stand the way that my grandfather used to chew. They love each other, but they can't stand each other. But they would never leave each other. The bond is too strong. In that case, I'm sure Akaash gives Jasleen the same type of love and affection that she gives him, right? Wrong. For Jasleen, marriage is a one-way street. Akaash's money is her money, and her money is her money.
This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money.
And to no one's surprise, Akaash seems completely fine with that arrangement.
My wife is objectively gorgeous. Me, nah. So that's what you got to do. I got to work my ass off, and then every time she starts looking at me and she starts assessing my beauty, I just throw a bag at that bitch. Chest pass.
Now, apparently, it's not just Jasleen's hard-earned money that she keeps for herself. It's also her affection. There are so many documented videos on the internet of Jasleen literally dodging Akaash's kisses and affection. To the point where you almost wonder, like, does he smell bad? Are his teeth yellow? Like, why is it such a consistent instinct reflex for her to turn her face every time he leans in for a juicy one?
Just look at her sheer reaction to Akaash surprising her with an upgraded wedding ring recently.
First of all, I want to say to Amma, happy birthday. All of this is possible because you told me I could do anything that I wanted. I think the only thing you could do is Jasleen. Jasleen Singh, will you be Jasleen Singh forever again?
Yes! Oh my god! How big is this? Thank you so much! What do you say? This is so...
Hell, she even dodged that poor motherfucker's kiss. And I just know for a fact that she is the type of chick to require a blood diamond over a lab grown, all because she needs to walk around feeling supreme to other people.
So you can see there's several instances, and there's many more online, of her moving her face every time he jumps in for a kiss. I mean, he literally had to manually move her face from the ring back into looking in his eyes when he handed her that diamond. But according to Jasleen, all that's alright because Akaash loves her for simply existing.
When you're a simple little boy, it just breaks their brain that a girl can like just be loved for simply existing. My husband loves me for simply existing. I don't have to cook or clean to justify my worth.
Now the question isn't should Jasleen be cooking or cleaning more throughout the house while Akaash is working, or even if she should be getting her own job as well. The real question is more so, what exactly does Jasleen love Akaash for? She posts their arguments online, she hates being nice to him on his birthday, she expects to be spoiled since he's rich from his work, but can't sympathize when he's exhausted from his work. She doesn't even kiss him in public, but maybe this is just how Jasleen is with everyone. More cold, standoffish, not so affectionate, maybe a bit self-centered. Well, let's investigate that, starting with Jasleen's visit to the doctor. So Jasleen is too shy to kiss Akaash in public on video, but she's okay with filming herself pants off as the doctor's examining her while flirting with the doctor.
Just this little. It's a ring light. Dr. Trevor, what are we doing?
So Jasleen sustained a bruise through some physical activity at home. And we treat a lot of bruises here, bruises for many different reasons. And so we have an external laser called the V-beam and the depth.
Also, I heard you're single. Is that true?
Go back to treating. Typically we get these types of bruises on the neck.
Wait,
we
why?
call them something else on the neck. And it's surprisingly...
Alright, well maybe she just feels comfortable around her doctor. Comfortable enough to ask him if he's single while she's half naked. But then you dive deeper into the subject matter she touches on in her podcast. A podcast that's now canceled, by the way. Yeah, every podcast these guys were doing, after this whole situation blew up, they dropped out of all their podcasting obligations. Everything got canceled. But for the time being, when she was a podcaster, what was she talking about on there? Well, I played you guys that earlier clip of her talking about popping her pee back in her college days, right? Well, let's go back to her reminiscing on some other stories about her college experience.
I met this guy on Tinder. This was before Bumble or Hinge. Like, this was like in the OG days of the app. And this guy, I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my ass was a little sore. Oh my God.
Now, to be fair, these are all past experiences long before she met Akaash, right? Maybe now she's more reclusive, conservative, not the most affectionate, since she is now a married woman. Well, the co-host on her podcast is also a married woman. One time they did an episode where both of their husbands were actually present on set. So take a look, you guys, at how Jasleen actually talks about her podcast co-host's husband, while both him and Akaash are in the room nonetheless.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because this couple is so fucking good looking and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches. Akaash is such a king. Like, everyone knows he's the best husband, and I don't often find men that measure up to him. And like, Nav completely measures up to him, if not more.
So if this wasn't bad enough, fantasizing about a married man's 10-inch body part, let's just say, while your own husband is standing there watching, they end up inviting the husband of the podcast co-host and Akaash to sit on the couch with them and discuss, you know, just regular relationship stuff. But this to me is where the far most devastating clip of this entire video comes in.
That I love you, but I actually love you and want to all of you.
I mean, that is quite possibly the worst Freudian slip I have ever seen. I mean, she flat out almost says she wants to sleep with her friend's husband while her own husband is sitting right there. But it's not what she says. It is how she says it and how her eyes look when she says it. I mean, look at the eye contact between these two as she says she wants to sleep with him. I feel horrible for Akaash, you guys. Like, this is some truly gruesome stuff to not just see through a computer screen, but to actually be physically present while your wife is giving another man those puppy dog eyes. So this was Myron's victory lap, right? He unpacked all this, brought it to the world, because before this, you can only imagine Jasleen's podcast was averaging maybe a couple thousand views on a good day. So no one saw all this brutal stuff. But once the dynamics of Akaash and Jasleen's relationship were presented to the entire world, especially after years before Akaash was aggressively combating Myron's stance on being skeptical in the dating sphere and looking out for yourself more than your romantic partner, the internet realized Akaash was most likely not lecturing Myron because he genuinely thought Myron's beliefs were toxic and disgusting, but instead because Akaash probably looked at what Myron was saying as the own reality that Akaash was living in and subconsciously felt obligated to defend his own marriage. And speaking of defending their marriage, of course, after this unfolded, Akaash and Jasleen had to respond to the wrath of the internet. Jasleen had claimed she had been quote-unquote canceled, but just a couple TikToks before that, she was just a stay-at-home wife. So what exactly can she be canceled from? But she did make an interesting point here.
Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny, it's so relatable. But then I come on TikTok and I make jokes and now you have a problem because I don't have a mic in my hand?
So Jasleen is basically saying like Akaash is a comedian and Jasleen herself was trying to become an internet personality. What was wrong with her joking about her marriage and her husband and her sexual fantasies when he gets up on a stage and does the exact same thing? Well, the key difference is that when you're doing stand-up comedy, people are expecting you to be exaggerated or satirical or self-deprecating, if that's the right word, or just as savage as possible, right? That's a big part of stand-up comedy. Be as outlandish as possible. Spicy. But when you're making TikToks and you're on a podcast and you're basically trying to yap to the internet for a living, people want to see who you genuinely are. There's a reason they call it UGC, user-generated content, because it comes from a human. It's not some corporation giving you a script to read. It's supposed to be who you authentically are. And even if your whole persona online is you just being, satirical or fabricating stories for the purpose of making people laugh, usually people can kind of grasp or catch that satire almost instantly. Like, to give you the most extreme example, when you see a skit from Drewski pop up online, you know that he's not being authentically himself. He's playing a character. It's a form of comedy.
Alright, so I'm here with my boy today, man.
Demure.
I ain't gonna lie, you got that shit on, my boy. What you wearing, man?
Super cool, chill, calm fit, flared out, Balenci.
But when Jasleen was talking about popping her pee during her college days and fantasizing about, sleeping with her podcast co-host husband, the delivery that she was saying these things in did not seem satirical. It didn't seem like it was a joke. And the internet is unforgiving. So between Jasleen dodging all of Akaash's kisses, between her constantly emphasizing the importance of being spoiled for doing absolutely nothing or contributing nothing to their relationship, coupled on top of that, all of the overly sexual comments she'd make about other men in her content, there was just an insurmountable, if that's the right word, amount of evidence that led the internet to believe that this was the worst marriage in history and Akaash was getting completely mistreated by his wife. And while her response was more so about attacking Myron's red pill fan base or questioning why Akaash can do stand-up comedy where he's roasting his marriage but she can't roast her own marriage on TikTok, Akaash's response to the situation was actually quite the opposite. He went back on that stand-up comedy stage and tried to make the crowd feel sympathy for Jasleen, painting the picture of when he had absolutely nothing, but she was right there through the turbulence, remaining loyal when he was just a hungry comedian trying to make it.
These narratives, you will call your wife a gold digger and a whore and all these other things, it's a shitty thing. So I'm gonna tell one story that I have never even told her. Honestly, she has no idea this story. My wife and I met in 2014. I was not making much money. I was getting $25 a night doing stand-up. But then in 2018, I went flat fucking broke. 34 years old, I probably made $4,000 that entire year. And we couldn't even afford the living room we lived in New York City. So we had to stay on her friend's couch for almost a month. We were basically homeless for a month. So I could save money to move to New Jersey. And I remember the night before we went to the couch, we had to stay in our apartment illegally. Me and her sleeping on a hardwood floor. I'm 34 years old. She's 25 years old. I'm looking at this girl like, man, you could go be with an Indian who's a doctor, like a real Indian. And I have nothing to give her. It's just a light jacket. It's like October. We have nothing. So I hand her the jacket, and then she said, what's this for? I said, you can use it as a pillow. And then she goes, well, what are you going to use? And I said, I'll figure it out. She handed me back the jacket. She goes, you take this. And then she laid with her head on my chest and her arm around me the entire night. And I remember thinking in that moment, this is why I haven't shared this with her, because I remember thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to marry this girl because I'm so broken. I'm in such a bad place and it's a dark fucking time in my life. But I know I will never find a girl that loves me this much ever again. And I will never find a girl who rides for me this hard ever again.
Now, while this story is really nice and shows that throughout it all, no matter how twisted their marriage dynamic seems, you gotta hand it to Jasleen. She did seem to be there with Akaash through thick and thin. There is more to the story that kind of raises some red flags. The first one being what Jasleen deems to be a red flag, which is a prenup. Because while Akaash makes it seem like Jasleen loved him whether he was broke or rich, it's kind of strange to me that she makes it a point to emphasize, once again, that her money is her money, but his money is also her money.
The idea of asking a girl to sign a prenup incredibly offensive, and only one way. Like if I asked someone to sign a prenup because I had some like booming business, then I would be like, yeah, can you just sign this prenup because like I don't want to like lose all my money. But then like if a guy asked me to sign a prenup, I would be like, I would call off the wedding. Like I would literally call off the wedding.
You would have called off the wedding if I asked you to sign a prenup?
Yeah, like I'm not even joking.
I had no real ability to since you were with me when I was broke.
I don't know, like it's like kind of like you're not like you're already not being generous. In like as a man, you're already not being generous, and I feel like men should be generous.
And what should women do?
be spoiled.
Okay. Where should women be generous?
Oh, like with tender love and care.
I don't think.
Well, I'm not saying I do it all.
There you go. There you go.
And that's the kind of crazy way to sum it up, right? She's saying, you know, I'm not supposed to sit here and financially contribute anything, which, fine, but then Akaash says, so what are women supposed to do? She says, they're supposed to be loving and affectionate, and he says, well, you're not like that with me, and for whatever reason, he's still okay with that. So we have yet to answer, what does Jasleen bring to the relationship? Well, finally, after this entire mess, they had to bring it back to where all these issues started from in the first place, the Flagrant podcast. This time, Jasleen ends up making a guest appearance, and she attempts to clear up everything, starting with the clip of her saying that she was popping her pee back in college with a roster of frat boys. I gotta give it to them, they must have worked out this script long in advance because they are great at damage control. They're dodging every question left and right.
Popping.
Yeah, let's just get some definition.
Let's break it down. I thought it was just like dancing, getting dressed up, and maybe that was my mistake.
Cap. Is it true that you said that there was a rotation of guys?
A roster.
I was a repressed Indian girl that I didn't even watch Jersey Shore in high school because I felt it to be too inappropriate. So when I got to college, I'm like, oh my God, I can dress however I want. I can do whatever I want.
You can have a roster of frat boys.
What does a roster mean?
So it didn't actually translate to a roster. It just meant like 2 guys I was talking to and flirting with at the same time. That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
And when you say hooking up, I think people
When
think you
I
meant
mean
fucking.
hooking up, I just meant making out.
So you're saying you're a big old prude.
Yeah, literally.
Now, you know, I just find it interesting that she says she's a big old prude, right? She's not that affectionate, or she's scared to be affectionate in public. That's why she dodges Akaash's kisses. But yet, all her humor is her talking about, you know, sexual experiences that she used to have, or romantic fantasies that she has with other guys. And apparently this is all hyperbole. It's all fake for the sake of comedy, right? But if that's not who you truly are, how are you able to fake that so easily to go viral on TikTok? And beyond that, if that's not genuinely who you are, why would you even want to try and create a persona like that for the internet to see? None of it really makes sense. But it gets worse when she tries to explain why she's always dodging Akaash's kisses when there's cameras around.
Ducking the kisses. That was, those are, listen. These ones pissed me off.
That I'm guilty of. I'm
These
guilty
ones
of
pissed
that.
me off, and I didn't like it one bit, and I need you to explain yourself immediately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We
so-
need to know.
Honestly, I
Also,
didn't,
can I just say that
Yeah.
I would watch the videos and I would die laughing. As a friend who loves him, I would die laughing because
No.
they edited it so perfectly where like he's going in and then it just right at the last minute. Always duck his kisses when there are not people around?
No, not when there aren't people around, just when there are people around. And I never even knew.
That's worse.
I didn't
Explain
know.
yourself.
I didn't know that I
Tell
did
us
that.
why.
I didn't know that I did that, so I really sat and thought about it. So I think it's a few things. I think it's like
You really sat and thought
yeah,
about it.
because I was like, okay, maybe it's like the repressed Indian girl thing where it's like I get a little bashful, I do get a little shy, despite what the internet thinks.
Most Indians do. I'm the exception.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
give a
I
fuck.
also get overstimulated because Akaash does it a lot, like every 30 seconds, like a little bit.
I get it now, this thing. I get it.
That's why I grabbed your chin so you couldn't.
I didn't move my face though. I wasn't gonna let him.
Now, you'll notice throughout all these clips of the podcast, whenever Akaash is looking at Andrew, he's cracking jokes, he's got a smile on his face, but when he glances back at Jasleen, his face goes deadpan, like expressionless. There's no emotion in those eyes. Not like the way Jasleen was looking at Akaash's friend when she said she wanted to sleep with him. And speaking of that situation, of course, they had to bring that up and ask Jasleen why she thought it'd be okay to propose sleeping with Akaash's friend while Akaash was sitting right there next to him on the couch on a live podcast.
The orgy thing was f***ing, that shit was crazy. I even watched it and I was like, so break us down.
I need an explanation.
Has the orgy happened?
So, okay, no, it hasn't.
Okay.
No, I still only one woman.
Would you have let him get some side in this hypothetical orgy?
Of course. Everyone should be included.
You think he can handle all 10 inches of Nav? You think you can take Nav down? Shout out Nav, bro.
Yes.
Shout out Nav, you f***ing homewrecker.
Spicy.
Okay, what the f*** was that joke? Because I think for a lot of people, myself included, like I saw that and I was like, why would she even joke around about that?
Yeah.
With Akaash there, and like, what was the what was the backstory to that?
Now looking back, like it's been pointed out to me, and I get that. I feel like for us, I think I learned so much of my humor from Akaash, not to like justify it, but just to explain like, oh, if I say these absurd things, it's so funny because it's not who I actually am.
Right.
But I kind of forgot that like the internet doesn't know all these multi-dimensions of my personality, so they're just seeing this one thing.
Right.
So the joke started with like Akaash being like, oh, Nav's really hot. Like Akaash would show Nav's picture to his trainer or whatever.
But it gets even worse when Akaash tries to defend the quote-unquote joke that Jaslene made about all them sleeping together.
I will say also, if she had a body count, I would have been like, hey, cut that. But because she doesn't, and I know how like innocent she actually is.
Oh, you are a virgin? That's real?
I was a virgin until I met him, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
And if she wasn't, that body count thing, I'd have been like, what are we doing here?
Right.
Because I would have been insecure about it. But I can be, not that I'm so secure, but with that joke, I'm like so secure.
Oh, I absolutely would feel insecure.
And I think stupidly, I was like, oh, it's an orgy, so it's all of us. It's not like talking.
Yeah, that is stupid.
Yeah.
I say you're being inclusive. You're being inclusive.
I mean, to try and downplay that type of comment because you're saying, no, it's not just that I'd be, you know, sleeping with your friend, it's we'd all be sleeping together. That is some crazy work. But Jaslene justifies it by saying that, you know, Akaash has made jokes in the past about getting his meat, what's a family-friendly word to describe this? Tenderized, marinated, hardened. Yeah, he's made jokes about that, so she can make jokes about sleeping with his friend. And she says she's genuinely okay with him going to, you know, a specialist who is an expert at tenderizing meat, because we know she doesn't like to be very affectionate to Akaash, so it's less work for her if she doesn't have to do the pleasuring.
How come you can have a joke about outsourcing hand jobs and blow jobs?
But aren't you cool with the hand?
Yeah.
You're cool with him just getting a hand massage?
Totally.
Are you
Yeah, I know.
Yes. I've said that it's less work for me.
Huh?
It's like, I think it would bother me like 30%, but I feel like 70% I'd be like, okay, whatever. I put you through a lot the past couple weeks.
Like he deserves it.
Yeah, I feel like I owe it to you.
I do kind of deserve it.
Yeah.
Yes.
My justification for the hand job is it's emotionless, and it's
It's just like a little thing after a massage. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's a great. I mean, I'm on board.
Yeah.
High five.
I also like the fact that it's just less work for you.
Yeah.
And I know your day is full of work.
Okay, because I think that was inappropriate and that was uncalled for. So will you go ahead and dismiss this and explain yourself on the record?
I do things.
Okay. All right.
But all in all, I guess you could say the podcast ended on a high note because Akaash, for all the times that Jaslene was dodging his kisses, he finally got his revenge. Well, sort of.
Well, so, can we settle something for the internet?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Will you kiss Akaash right now?
Okay, prove everybody wrong.
But it's gonna mess my life.
Bring that ass over here. Bring that ass over here.
My dude.
It was overstimulating. It was overstimulating.
Now you might be wondering, all right, this closes one section of the book, but what happened to Jaslene's podcast where she was talking about sleeping with Akaash's friend, telling all her college stories? Well, Andrew Schulz had made it known that he was actively working on getting that podcast casted off your computer screens. Yeah, for the sake of saving the Flagrant podcast and Akaash's reputation, Andrew was trying to destroy what Jaslene worked so hard to build up.
Delete it. Delete the podcast.
Delete ours?
No more influencing. No, I'm talking about her.
Oh, we're working on it.
No influencing. I don't want you don't let your wife be influencers. Don't let your wife be podcasters, man.
Keep your wife off the internet.
Motherfucking internet.
Why does your wife have a microphone in her face? Do not allow your wife to start a motherfucking podcast, bro.
Yes.
Okay, there can be one entertainer in this family, and it shall be me. I'm the comedian. I'm out here on this road. I'm out here getting the money. Let me use some of this money to help you do some other things, yo. Because you don't need a microphone in your face because you going to fuck around and ruin us. All right? Not just you.
And as you can see by the way that Andrew's looking at the camera as Charlamagne says that, Charlamagne is really speaking through Andrew, right? He doesn't want to disrespect Akaash and Jasleen, but these are obviously his true feelings. Akaash is the breadwinner. Don't destroy this man's entire career because you insist on saying outlandish things on TikTok. You won't make a career off that. You're just going to destroy his reputation. You're better off staying away from the internet. And it seems like she would take Charlamagne's advice because Jasleen herself would go on another person's podcast. Again, not really taking any accountability, just claiming that, you know, this whole red pill incel community was trashing on her for making jokes about her marriage online and that it's sexist, when in reality, look guys, comedy is comedy, but you can tell when someone's trying to be funny and when they're just straight up mistreating their significant other. I mean, to have him sit right there as you're fetishizing your podcast co-host's husband, I don't know, it didn't sound like comedy to me. And as far as her podcast co-host, apparently ever since the situation unfolded, she actually hasn't spoken to that woman at all. And with that, they obviously ended their podcast together.
What's going on with the podcast?
It makes me sad because with Nahal, we became friends so quickly. I don't want to say anything shitty about her, and I won't.
You guys didn't have a relationship prior to all of this?
No.
Okay.
So we just became friends like pretty quickly, and then she wanted to do the podcast, and I was a little bit unsure, but then I talked to my husband about it. He was like, "Why not? You've always wanted to try it." I think what happened was that we went through controversy so quickly into it that it kind of like put a strain on the friendship, because I remember her saying though in Paris, she was like, "My biggest fear is getting canceled." I mean, I haven't shared this with anyone, but I said like, I really wish that you had been there more for me during, especially like everything that happened in December.
Now, as for Akaash, he would also temporarily step away from podcasting to pursue his first stand-up comedy solo tour. And apparently he saw so much success with it that when it was all said and done, he decided to step away from the Flagrant podcast completely. The very same podcast that he built with his friend of nearly 2 decades. The very podcast that made Akaash rich, that was able to support his unprenupted wife's expensive lifestyle. He's just magically walking away from it.
As I'm sure you guys are aware, our boy Akaash, he really went through it earlier this year, showed amazing resilience and, selling out Radio City recently, setting records in Toronto, just crushing stand-up around the globe, and literally just like living the dreams that he would tell me about at 2 a.m. when we're eating fucking egg sandwiches at Veselka. But the experience has put things in perspective for him. And he has made the decision to focus all of his energy on stand-up. He is going to be stepping away from the pod. It is bittersweet. We wish that he did not want to do that. But at the same time, it's very hard not to root for your friend, literally living his dreams. And if he feels he's got to give everything to that, then that's exactly what he's got to do. And we're going to rock with him. We hope you guys continue to rock with him.
And it seems like things did not end on great terms for the Flagrant podcast, because Akaash actually unfollowed the Flagrant podcast off of Instagram. But beyond that, he also did an interview of his own where he addresses quote-unquote fake friends who he's known for years who were crap talking him behind his back. And all of it really seems like he's addressing Andrew Schulz.
I had to realize there's a lot of people's voices in your ear, like talking in your ear, like she needs to do this, she needs to do that.
Keep your wife off the
motherfucking internet. Why does your wife have a microphone in her face? Do not allow your wife to start a motherfucking podcast, bro.
Yes. And then I had to realize, like, she's the one that's actually strong and courageous, and the rest of us are like running and hiding and going dark and blah blah blah. And she's like, "No, I know who I am. Go Go f yourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Were
sorry,
you
I don't-
surprised that some people were telling you that she shouldn't be on social media?
The thing that surprised me is so many people ran and made videos when they have my number or they have we've messaged each other on Instagram, and it's like, yo, you could have just asked me what really is happening. And then I realized this fame thing is a monster, man.
That's right.
And people want that badly.
That's
and they'll
right.
run and talk about you for views, even
That's
if you're
right.
friends. And that's where I'm like, man, I don't want that. I don't want to sacrifice the morality. I didn't get into this to be famous. I thought it was cool at the time. Now it's like, it is what it is. Y'all just want this fame thing more than anything. And I've realized it's addictive, and it can, I think, lure you in before you realize it. You're addicted to it, and you're saying stuff about, like, we're supposed to be really good friends, and you're saying stuff or letting stuff slide. And I'm like, you're not a bad person. You just really want the fame. And you might be kind of broken if you've seen the other side of fame and you've experienced it and you still want it. There's probably something wrong with you. I don't personally want that.
Now this is where things get worse. It seems like the relationship between Akaash and Andrew Schulz is irreparable, and Akaash is really moving on to completely different things, abandoning the one medium that actually got him famous and built his career up in the first place. Now, there's another YouTuber really dope by the name of Jamari who did a good breakdown on the little subliminals Akaash has been throwing out to basically imply that he's cutting off anybody who had criticism about his wife's behavior online, while also emphasizing the burnt bridges amongst Akaash and the Flagrant podcast. So let's take a look at everything that's going down.
Now, coming off his sold-out tour, I really do feel like Akaash was feeling himself. And I really cannot even blame the guy, because coming right out of the inferno, you know, facing the wrath of the internets, he would immediately accomplish his ultimate dream of selling out his favorite venue, and this was clearly a defining career moment for Akaash.
What is up, Radio City Music Hall? Thank you guys so much for coming.
As he would almost immediately sign to United Talent Agency after this show, which is one of the top 3 talent agencies in the world. In the announcement post, Akaash would mockingly say, "Gonna miss WME though. I guess some relationships are harder to leave than others." Shrug. Which was obviously a not-so-sly, metaphorical middle finger to both Andrew and the Flagrant audience. And if you need more evidence of this, Neon's father would also simultaneously unfollow Andrew, while continuing to follow the other host, Alex, Mark, and the Flagrant page itself, which really tells me that his issue was directly with Andrew. And it should also be noted here that Akaash would also take the time to unfollow Charlamagne and DJ Akademiks as well, who were both his friends in the industry for years.
Why does your wife have a microphone in her face? Do not allow your wife to start a motherfucking podcast, bro.
Yes. It seems as though anyone who spoke about this insanely hot topic in any negative way in regards to Jasleen got the boot.
And I realized he actually doesn't follow Andrew anymore. But even worse, forget Andrew. Nigga, he ain't follow me no more. I'm telling you now, Akaash, I love you. I'm not going to unfollow you. And anything people ever said about you is because they love you. I know it might not seem that way, but we love you.
But no, it wasn't just Akaash moving on to bigger and better things away from the Flagrant podcast. It was actually his wife, Jasleen, who apparently also signed herself to a talent agency. She doesn't seem to be taking any accountability for the situation that blew up in flames between her, Akaash, Andrew Schulz, whatever. In fact, just like her husband, she is also sneak dissing Andrew Schulz on social media. It's kind of insane to see.
Well, well, well. So to all the people that didn't believe in me and didn't think I could provide anything, I just had my 3rd call with an agency today. I think it's safe to say your girl is gonna start making money soon.
Rich.
The tables have turned, so what are you gonna do for me now that I'm making money?
I mean, I just have to say it, guys, this has to be one of the most deluded people I've ever seen. And that boy Neon Sr. is right there with her.
I'm gonna be out here popping this butthole for the black friends.
You know, like, people always ask me, like, how are you so unaffected by, like, all these think pieces about you? Because it all sounds so fucking dumb to me. What my real issue is like, why do these people, when they talk about me, they get, like, 10x their normal views? But when I talk, and I'm talking, I don't.
I mean, her entire engagement online is based on people hate watching. And not only from the flagrant side, but also from her very own community, where other Indian girls have consistently called her out for talking shit constantly about their culture.
Yeah, should I do a think piece about ruining my husband's career after he sold out Radio City and like has never sold out more shows?
Yes, guys, she really thinks that all of the hate that she cast upon Akaash is the sole reason that he sold out Radio City Music Hall. You know, completely diminishing any of his hard work. She would also openly brag about the fact that Andrew and Akaash are no longer friends on her Instagram story, while also claiming that she was digitally essayed the last couple of months, meaning through the computer by the comments. Like, you cannot make this shit up.
And I think the saddest part about this whole thing is that while Akaash is now accomplishing his dreams, right? The very same dreams that he started working on alongside Andrew Schulz way back in the early 2000s when both of them were broke. He's now accomplished it all, and he's doing a press run in promotion of his big comedy shows. But if you've actually been watching all the clips that I've played throughout this entire video, and then you look at Akaash's appearance in this brand new interview he just did, he looks like he aged 40 years in the span of 5 months as all this drama went down. It shows you that it was probably weighing on him heavily.
So what are you looking forward to doing while you're here?
I love just walking the street. My wife likes shopping, so she really likes Honolulu and just all the shopping. And I will try to avoid spending money by distracting her with Waikiki Beach.
I mean, in this interview, I almost think the guy looked downright drunk or hungover. And my favorite part of the interview is when the news anchor ironically says,
or no, at the beginning of every show, I try to say, hey, if something I say like offended you, or you feel like I went too far, or if you just don't want to be talked to, just give me this motion and I'll move on. Because I'm 5'7" and I know this, I can't fight. So like, I don't need to be just mean to be mean. So like, I don't want to just like.
You don't want a Will Smith coming out.
Yeah. I'm a prime candidate to get slapped. I'm a very slappable guy.
So there you have it. After this entire situation has unfolded, it leaves us with two close friends who reached the pinnacle of success together, now no longer on speaking terms due to a situation involving one man's wife. Meanwhile, that one man is being compared to the new Will Smith. Looks like he's aged 40 years in the span of half a year and is still talking about his wife's expensive needs on daytime TV. Sounds like he's happily married. Hopefully this is the happy ending that everybody deserves. But let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next one.
I study rap for a living.